What's up, cool people? I'm Mike Conroy. Welcome back to another web week. So, this time around, I'm going to be sort of continuing the nostalgia bomb from last time around. So, we're going to start the flashback with a game called Splashback. So, I'm just going to start playing this as I explain it, because it's a really simple game, and I can easily multitask with this one. So, what's going on here is, you click on the little blobby things and they expand. And then if you see they're at a full circle, they're about ready to pop. So then you click them again and they pop. And the idea is you want to obviously clear everything on the board and then you move on to the next level. But if you pop a certain number of them, you'll get extra droplets in your tank that you can use to pop more of them. At the end of each level, it'll give you an extra one for completing the level, and I think otherwise it's just like every 3 that you pop in a given move, it'll give you an extra drop for that. So, yeah, really simple game, really easy to pick up, and it's just one of those that you really just keep going with it to see how far you can get. One of those kind of see if you can make a new high score off of it sort of things. But yeah, a little background on this game. If you don't recognize the 2 characters off to the right here, this game came out when Cartoon Network was... I don't want to say they were leaning away from Toonami, but they were kind of mixing around some things they did with their, like, after-school slate of shows. So, it was just Toonami after school for the longest time. And, you know, you'd get your anime fix there, basically. At least my sister and I did. We would get our anime fix watching Cartoon Network after school, and then really they started shifting. Rather than Toonami, they started up this thing, they called it like Nuguzi or whatever. I don't know, it was... I never really understood the name or what the heck was going on, why they were even changing things to begin with, but in any case, these characters off to your right were the ones that were supposed to, like, represent this new Nuguzi thing, and I guess as part of their marketing stuff, they made this game, put it online for people to play, just to kind of advertise their new thing that they had going on. I really don't much understand what the point of it was otherwise, but anyway, so yeah. That's pretty much all the background and info that you need to know about this game, really. This game can last a long time, or a very short time, depending on the boards that you get and how well you play it. Because, as you can see, like right now, I'm getting a whole bunch of drops just from having these large series of bubbles that I'm popping. So I'm kind of just going to keep going with it at this point and see how far I get. All the while, I guess, sort of reminiscing about some of my middle school, high school, teenage years, basically. So, I forget when exactly it was that we really started getting into this. It was shortly after we moved, I know, that my sister and I would really kind of start getting into these shows. We had our typical Saturday morning cartoons that we would watch, but then we also had our shows kind of throughout the week that we would keep up with. Like, Dragon Ball Z was always, like... I feel like Dragon Ball Z was really the only constant throughout all of the big Toonami run that they had going. At least in the afternoons. But yeah, so there was that, and then I think in the original lineup of shows that they had, there was There was Sailor Moon, which, I mean, I kind of sort of watched if I wasn't doing anything else, but meh. There was, I want to say one of the originals was this one show called Reboot, which was this, like, it was like it was a cartoon show that was happening inside of a computer. I don't know. I don't remember a whole lot else about it. It was like all computer graphic animation style, and which was pretty new at the time. They're like, that's honestly, as far as I can remember, the first show that I ever watched that really used computer animation on a regular basis. So anyway, there was that stuff going on, and then I want to say one of the original Toonami shows that really just didn't last very long. I may be remembering this incorrectly, but I remember early on, at least, there was this one called, like, Ronin Warriors. Think of it like if Power Rangers would have been set in, like, feudal Japan or something like that. Like, these Ronin Warriors were all, like, these samurai kind of dudes that had these special abilities, and it was, like, kind of based on their armor and that kind of... I forget some of the details of it. It wasn't a show that lasted very long. But... yeah, so anyway, my sister and I would be around just watching all these, you know, after-school cartoon anime type shows. Really, they were more so on the anime end of things in the early run of Toonami. And then things started shifting around after a while. Some of them started becoming a little more cartoonish. I definitely remember, whether or not it was Toonami connected, I forget, but a lot of the other favorite shows that we watched back then, you know, we would watch Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans anime series, not Teen Titans Go. I would argue the original was vastly superior in every way but comedy. That's pretty much all Teen Titans Go is just comedy. So I would hope it at least does better than the original series at that. But I digress. Yeah, we used to always watch Teen Titans was one of our go-to shows. I'm gonna just sort of intermix Saturday morning with afternoon stuff, just since I'm on this tangent. I remember we never really watched the Pokemon show. We watched it some, but it wasn't one of our go-to shows. We were a lot more into Digimon as a show than we were Pokemon, as far as I can remember. And then, when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out, that was one of our favorites. We got the cards and everything. And then there was one. We'll see who else remembers. Maybe leave a comment below if you remember these shows. But Jackie Chan Adventures was one of our Saturday morning ones that we used to watch a lot. And just... I think that one we more so watched because, I mean, yeah, it was interesting and had some, like, different fight sequences and things like that going on, but, again, it's a cartoon, so not really trying to be realistic in any way. But it seemed like, from what we knew of Jackie Chan at the time, it seemed like something that you would have seen from his movies anyway. Anyway, but that was another one we watched. Trying to think through a lot of the old Nickelodeon cartoons, like Danny Phantom, Kim Possible, or I guess Kim Possible was Disney. I don't know. I'm getting a whole lot of crossover here in my mind, but yeah, Danny Phantom, Kim Possible, and I guess. Now that I think about it, we watched a lot of the shows where the characters kind of had some attitude about them. I mean, I guess there were shows that were designed for teenagers, and we were teenagers, so kind of makes sense a little bit. Other shows that we watched, good grief. In terms of more so the cartoony end of things that were less anime style, some of the nighttime cartoons we used to watch were like Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog, a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, just I'm probably gonna sound like anybody who's, you know, just looking back on the good old days or something like that, but I feel like a lot of the cartoons back then were better in some ways than what we have now. I feel like a lot of the better cartoons these days are ones that are geared toward adults, like Rick and Morty, or, you know, maybe it's just the people that were making the cartoons for my age group back when we were younger are the ones that are still kind of making cartoons for us now. Because I guess we just refuse to grow up and we want to watch our cartoons. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Anyway. It took all the way until level 21 before I finally lost this game. Yeah, that was one of the longer runs, for sure. So, I guess that's going to do it this time around. Didn't mean to have it be just the one game, but that's the way things played out. I actually kind of tried to find other games to play, but they were giving me difficulties. So, anyway. So, you got to see a little bit of me, and one of the games I used to play a lot, and get a little backstory on some of my teenage years. I might do more games from this website, or I might pick another one of my go-to websites. There was a specific one that a lot of us went to in computer class back in the day, so I might try that one next time, or leave ideas in the comment section down below for other things that I could do. I suppose that's all this time around. So, as always, like and share, subscribe, click the bell, check the notification box, then you'll get all the updates and that kind of stuff. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you want to check out those. I've also got Instagram, not as regular there, but I have stuff anyway. So, information on all that's down in the description. And like I said, leave a comment with your thoughts on this video, on other things I could do, other games I could play especially. And yeah, I guess that about does it. So, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I will see you in the next video. Stay cool, people.